Well, a very good evening. I do welcome you to Select News tonight. My name is Elijah Turyagumanawe.
And my name is Latifa. Hamid, we have a lot for you on board tonight, but let's look at the headlines and we'll be right back with the details.
Top on our stories tonight, Museveni boasts of increased life expectancy, urges elderly to desist from poor diet habits. And the Electoral Commission extends nomination period for local government candidates. More in the news, Sodo announced winner for Mawogola North constituency. And back to business. Entebbe International Airport resumes flights as sky excitement rocks nation. And in the world of sports, Serena Williams withdraws from French Open over injury.
We're coming back from the headlines. Now we'll go straight into the details of Select News tonight. The National Resistance Movement Party Electoral Commission has declared Godfrey Aine Kaguta, also known as Sodo, as the winner of the closely contested election against Sashi Kutesa Mushereru in Mawogola North constituency in the NRM party primaries.
The NRM primaries were marred by violence on both sides with injuries in people. However, Charity says that she does not agree with the election outcome.
Last night, the NRM Electoral Commission chairperson, Dr. Tanga Odoi, announced that Godfrey Aine Kaguta Sodo polled 17,343 votes against Shatsi Kutesa's 16,104, beat his closest rival by 1,239 votes.
Ekidakoze kubanga manyi akarun kayisemu kubanga ne parts zenfuna zonna wendi ngenda mpangula so katulinde results ezijja mu maaso awo then tulabe ekidako.
Nebaza NRM oye, Katikamu oye, Uganda oye, Sembabule oye, Katikamu oye, Katikamu oye.
In the heated election, supporters from both sides had earlier attacked each other, prompting the NRM Electoral Commission to postpone the primaries.
So the bintu byakoze tuza bikiriza naddala wano kubanga asombye abantu ko bitundu ebyenjawulo tamanyi naleta ninda sinyabo nedda sebo soda abantu basombye tetuza kukiriza wano era bebabaze wano tetuza bikiriza basobola bikiriza ozali bwawa oli bulonzi
wamasebo bakiriza kitufu tisoda yakoze eki tisoda sinze soda alite
wa people power naye katusoka tujje wono okyegedde then tumale maaso tutekewo omuntu gwe twagala.
The chairperson Tanga Odoi, after declaring the winner, urged the both contestants to reconcile to help develop the area. The election was supposed to be held on September 4th, was postponed twice over ugly scenes of violence between supporters of both Godfrey Aine Kaguta and Shatsi Kutesa Musherure, who are both close to the first family. To prevent any more violence from erupting, the police heavily deployed in Sembabule district and the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Major General Sabiti Muzei. To monitor the elections closely, NRM Electoral Commission team led Dr. Tanga camped Sembabule district. Adiat Nambaja, Suhail Mugabe, STV Select News.
Well, up to 2,000 police personnel. Security was beefed up to up to 2,000 in Mawogola, but we can still see that the violence was still there. Now, moving forward with the next story, Mwanafunzi University has today launched a fundraising drive to raise over 15 billion for the Ivory Tower, which caught fire almost 2 weeks ago.
Well, according to the Vice Chancellor of the university, that's Barnabas Nawangwe, former students and alumni of the university should join the cause.
While speaking to journalists this morning, the Vice-Chancellor of Makerere University, Barnabas Nawangwe, called on to the alumni of Makerere University to help raise funds for the restoration of the Ivory Tower and the main building, which was razed by fire almost a fortnight ago. Makerere University, which is the oldest institution of higher learning in Uganda, boasts of over 300,000 alumni all over the world who they will rely on for support to reconstruct the iconic building.
But we definitely have a large number of our alumni who are concerned and who would like to see their icon restored to its previous position. As you can see on the banners behind, they show what the building is looking like now, devastated, and what the building looked like before. And we are saying we will restore this icon to its former glory.
Professor Nawangwe also unveiled the ways and method well-wishers can use to contribute funds towards rebuilding the Ivory Tower.
And as you can see that we have opened accounts in Stanbic. We have got $1 and the shilling account. They are there on the banners. But we have also got so far from MTN. We are following up with the other service providers to give us also merchant codes through which the stakeholders can contribute using mobile money if they so wish.
According to the Vice-Chancellor, only the upper part of the building was the only one affected and that the basement of the building is still intact. To date, the police have not yet revealed the findings of their investigation into the initial cause of the fire.
Suspected source of fire has changed, whereas initially all the experts thought that the fire started from up. Now there is a unanimous agreement that the fire indeed didn't start from up. And in the event, the experts have again agreed to have one more week. They have picked more samples.
The fire that caught Makerere University main building destroyed invisible records and property worth millions of shillings. Nakandi Sarah, ACE-TV Select News.
Well, I welcome you back from that report. Quite a sad story, but a ray of hope that is coming. Makerere University Ivory Tower will soon be rectified again. Now, moving on from that report, today Uganda joined the rest of the world in commemorating the International Day of Older Persons under the theme Upholding Rights of Older Persons During the COVID-19 Pandemic.
In attendance at the State House in Entebbe, where the occasion was held, was the State Minister for Disability and Elderly, Honorable Sarah Kanyike, the Acting Permanent Secretary, the Minister of Labour, Gender and Social Development, the Deputy Ambassador to the Irish Embassy in Uganda, and the Chairperson of the National Council for Older Persons in the presence of His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
We have the details.
So that your name may be glorified. I pray all this in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
On the 1st October 1991, UN General Assembly made a resolution to celebrate the International Day for Older Persons. Uganda joined the trend in 1999.
This day was designated by the UN General Assembly under Resolution number 45/106. The International Day of Older Persons was observed for the first time throughout the world on 1st October 1991. In Uganda, we have commemorated this day since 1999.
This year's theme, Upholding Rights for Older Persons During the COVID-19 Pandemic, is aimed at the inclusion of older persons in the fight against COVID-19 and recognizing older persons' contribution towards development of the country.
There is need to support older persons in observance of the Ministry of Health guidelines and related standard operating procedures before the situation can become worse, given their vulnerability.
Among the achievements that the government has had success in luring out to the senior citizens is the Grant and the Older Persons Bill 2020, which is still in process.
There is need to support older persons in observance of the Ministry of Health guidelines and related standard operating procedures before the situation can become worse, given their vulnerability.
His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, on the other hand, applauded the government for improving life expectancy. He tasked the Elders Council to sensitize the elderly on prevention methods that will further increase life expectancy.
In improving the life expectancy of Ugandans, the old people need to thank the NRM, because you people, you are dying at 47. That's why they started calling me Mzee when I was 30, because they thought I was going towards, because you remember the life expectancy in 1946 was after 43 years. I don't know why this.
The National Census Bureau report of 2014 indicates an increase in the number of elderly by 30% from 1.1 million in 2002 to 1.4300 million in 2014. Currently, the country holds a 1.6 million number of older persons. Maria Dana Namiro, STV Select News.
The Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, together with the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, have launched the second phase of Youth Innovative Competition in Agriculture.
Now, the competitions are aimed at empowering youth to rise out of poverty using skills developed off agricultural enhancement. We'll take a look.
While addressing journalists today at the Media Center, the Minister of State for Fisheries, Honorable Heleni Adoa, advised youth between the age of 18 to 35 to take part in the agriculture innovation competition as means of alleviate poverty.
The success of round 1 of year initiative, the National Technical Coordination Platform, is again inviting youth aged 18 to 35 years to take part in round 2 of year initiative for 2020.
The UN Agriculture Initiative representative in Uganda, Antonio Querido, has urged all eligible young people to pick their nomination forms at their offices or at their social media platform in order to take part in this life-changing intervention.
As the minister said, we'll begin with 270, then we'll scale down 2 per district, then we'll scale down to 135, and out of this we'll select 35 champions, and all of them, the 270 champions selected, they will benefit of a youth peer-to-peer support activity.
Kataba's Gerard, who was among the winners of the first round of the competition, narrates the adrenaline and excitement that comes with it. He also shared achievements and benefits in taking part.
Coffee machine yiyo ekisookerwako nyine edduuka ya Forest Mall kye kizimbe ekyasinze ebbeeyi mu Kampala ekingiza abagaga b'e Kampala, so kye kisookerwako ekyo kuba nti nange nganyiddwamu mu competition ng'omuwanguzi kale. Muvubuka munnange ali ewabweru, bonna bweyagala kwenyigira mu competitions zino olina okuba ng'oli innovative nnyo, ng'oli mukugu ate ng'ofaayo nnyo kwagala okuyiga n'ebyobadde tomanyi. Naye nga competitions zo nnungi kubanga mulimu experience, mulimu okuyiga, mulimu okutambula, mulimu ne support eri in kind oba n'akasente akatono. So
it should be noted that this organization started organizing youth competition on 6th September 2017 in an effort to record success stories in the agriculture sector. Maria Dana Namiro, Edith Nabagereka, STV Select News.
Well, I welcome you back from that report, and I find that story very important for the young people, as majority of young people have shunned agriculture, complaining that it's a dirty job and they don't want to get their dirty or their hands rather dirty. And that it's a very encouraging story there, and I think we need more youth to engage more into agriculture and create food for every Ugandan and every person that deserves to eat well. Well, we shall go for a short break and come back with more on Select News. Stay there.
Welcome back from the break. Moving forward with our stories, youth from the ruling party of the National Resistance Movement have today convened to celebrate their victory in the recently concluded primaries and strategize for the coming general elections.
The youth leaders also say that they are hell-bent on making sure President Yoweri Museveni wins the elections.
At an event organized by the NRM coordinator for Kampala Central, Hajat Misa Kabanda, at Nachivuba Blue Primary School, youth leaders in the party were taught on ways they can lead and improve the ruling party.
NRM back in Kampala, it's not a matter of winning, but they think that they've neglected them. That's why they are not. That's why we haven't been doing well. Secondly, KCC is a problem. So many things are happening with KCC. You have only a budget of 10,000, your capital is just 10,000, 20,000. They confiscate your things. You go to KCCA, you go to court, they take you to court. You cannot even pay that money. So it ends up saying it's Museveni who does not care.
According to Misa Kabanda, her aim was to mobilize the youth who will be at the forefront in the hunt for votes for President Yoweri Museveni in the coming election. So
I'm working on behalf of the president. I think I was appointed by the president to mobilize. Since it's scientific, I have to mobilize. The groups, and I've met several groups to look for his support. And during during this period, I've met so many groups. So many groups are disgruntled. They think they are not. They don't recognize. They are not recognized. They've left them behind.
Tamale Mirundi, a senior presidential advisor, urged the youth to love their party for victory to prevail.
Abasajja befudisi bobe wadde ekifo kyabwe era buli wobasanga bakola bwe bati nti mukiwe ekyokubiri ate kiriko enkayana ekyokubiri kiriko enkayana people power aba people power engumi evuga ku kugabana bifo.
He also told the youth that President Museveni is their best hope for survival.
Mu kutunulya okwendaba NRM ejja kubeera weewangalewo kuba teri ku sentimento. NRM ejja kubeerawo ebeerewo nga kyama kya mapinduzi e Tanzania. Why? Kubanga ffe Katonda atuyambye ne tukula tukuze ne tulaba president byakola ne tukula ne tutegeera nti amwawukanako yakola ki yayonooneka.
Some youth who won the youth elections in the party primaries called for unity and discipline to help implement the president's strategies.
Leadership for the youth is all about discipline, and I just encourage them to involve and participate in all positions so that we can benefit, and for whatever service that we need should be influenced by us.
Husna Afet, Ramla Katumba, Select News.
From that report now, moving on, the Electoral Commission has extended the nomination period for local government elections by 4 more days, starting from Friday, the second day of the month of October, to Monday, 5th October 2020, including Saturday and Sunday.
The nominations were designed to end today, 1st of October, but the extension is due to overwhelming turnout of candidates as per the statement published by Justice Byabakama Mugenyi Simon, the Electoral Commission chairperson.
And further developments, DP's Beatrice Kayanja was dropped off the mayoral race after failing to pass the requirements threshold. More contenders for the city mayoral race have today been nominated, bringing the total number to 7.
Well, moving forward from that story, there has been a footage circulating today on social media where Butcherman was seen beating up a fellow musician, and a lot of people have come up to condemn this footage.
Now, Butcherman was seen in that particular video roughing up his fellow musician on the claims that he was claiming to take a position, that's the ghetto president position, which he says he is the ghetto president. Well, we did engage security, and that's particular the Uganda police, on the same matter to give us a comment, and they did say that he did appear to police after being summoned to make a statement, which he did, and they're still searching for the victim, and that is the artist that was roughed up in this particular scuffle that was on social media platforms.
Well, we opened up inquiries yesterday. We opened the general inquiry file to the social media video that was circulating, which shows one Mark of Gembe. A lot of people know him as Butcherman. With others assaulting the person whom we got to know according to the video that is called Rocky Giant. So we picked interest after the social media outcry, and we are looking into the matter, rather. So Butcherman and his group were summoned today and they've appeared. So we are currently recording their statement. We have, however, failed to get in touch with Rocky Giant. We don't know where he is. We were promised by their leader, Waiki Benda, that
okay.
We want to bail him, but we haven't gotten in touch with the alleged victim. So we shall record that statement and we shall inform. Currently, the only charge we see is assault. But if others come up, we shall be informing you accordingly.
Well, this kind of intimidation is totally uncalled for. On that note, let's go for a break and we'll be back with a business segment.
Well, I welcome you to our business segment where we shall be talking money matters. Now, the Entebbe International Airport has finally reopened after a very long period of no flights since the 18th of March in the early days of this year, causing a business standstill and paralysis of various sectors. The new normal in the business sector has started in a high response as different people had already booked their flights to various destinations.
In the recent president's speech about the novel coronavirus, among the sectors that the lockdown was lifted is Entebbe International Airport, and business was to resume today, 1st of October.
Well, that's all we have for you in the business segment. We shall go for a short break and we'll definitely come back with what is happening in the world of sports.
Sports will jump straight into South Africa, and in South Africa, the manager of the South African football club Mamelodi Sundowns, Pitso Mosimane, has resigned and left his job. Mosimane left the job on mutual consent and has joined Egyptian side Al Ahly. Let's look at the story.
Pitso Mosimane has resigned as manager of Mamelodi Sundowns after 8 years at the club. This comes months after he had signed a contract extension to stay at the club and thus leaving the club on mutual consent. South African Pitso Jingles Mosimane, aged 56, joined the South African champions in 2012 from national team managerial job, and his stay has been successful with 5 league titles, 1 CAF Champions League and several individual awards, and this has made the owner of the Brazilian's billionaire Patrice Motsepe to wish him well in his next venture. Mosimane is credited for having bought and brought Dennis Onyango Masinde from SuperSport United and gave him the opportunity and chance to play at the biggest level and thus an upgrade on the national team. Mosimane has joined Egyptian giants Al Ahly on a 4-year deal.
Now that story brings us to the end of Select News. My name is Latifa, Hamid. Take care of yourself.
And my name is Elijah Turyagumanawe. We do thank you for keeping it Ace TV and particularly Select News. We shall be here tomorrow, same time, same place. Just keep it Ace TV. It's a good night from all of us.